Hi, Vencore Weather meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, November 4th. A nice day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. It'll be much milder today and tomorrow compared to the past couple of days. High temperatures well up in the 60s along the I-95 corridor, both today and tomorrow. Then it looks like a soaking rain event is in store for the region on Thursday. Low pressure will form in the Mid-Atlantic region, and there can be periods of rain, heavy at times on Thursday evening, maybe a thunderstorm or two mixed in. Cold air rushes in behind that storm on strong northwest winds on Friday. That late week chill will persist right through the upcoming weekend, and then it'll be reinforced by another cold air mass for this time of the year by the early part of next week. In fact, November is looking more and more like it'll turn out to be a cold month in this part of the country for this time of the year, with wave after wave of cold air mass dropping from Canada into the northeastern part of the U.S. Well, before we take a look at the upcoming soaking rain event, I thought we'd start off by looking at quite an interesting map here. We put out the winter outlook a few weeks ago. It's on our climate info page. One of the main factors that I looked at was the snow cover now in Siberia. The fall season snow cover in Siberia can play a very important role in the upcoming winter in the northeastern part of the U.S., and it's quite amazing. This is the very latest snow cover situation in across the North Pole in Siberia, right in this region right here. Look at the extent of this snow cover right here. Again, the North Pole right here. This is Greenland. The U.S. is down in this region. Just a widespread extent of snow cover for this time of the year. This is how it looked 7 years ago at the same time in the year 2007. Just a vast difference here compared to 7 years ago. It's not just in Siberia. It's on this side of the pole as well. Notice the extent of the snow cover here up across northern Canada, a little bit more widespread right now than it was 7 years ago. But the big difference is Siberia. That will play an important role in the upcoming winter weather here in the northeastern U.S. Again, one of the reasons I believe it'll be a cold and snowy winter. Well, let's get back to the current situation. It's quite an interesting pattern setting up here. We have nice weather for today and tomorrow, much milder than normal for this time of the year, but then a soaking rain event occurs on Thursday, and this cold frontal system plays an important role. Even though it weakens considerably, it'll continue to move to the east over the next 24 hours or so, but basically will fall apart by the time it reaches the I-95 corridor later on tomorrow. It'll increase the clouds around here, and there's an outside shot at a light shower tomorrow associated with this frontal system, but the southern part of the front will tend to stall out in this region, and that will allow for a lot of moisture to ride up out of the Gulf of Mexico and actually also from the Pacific Ocean right along that frontal boundary zone, and a soaking rain event is in store for the Mid-Atlantic region on Thursday. Well, here's a current look at the nationwide radar from the Mesonet.org website. A lot of showers and embedded thunderstorms associated with that frontal system, but again, the northern half of that frontal system will weaken, and most, if not all of this, will fall apart by the time it moves over the Appalachian Mountains during the day tomorrow. I do expect many more clouds in the skies on Wednesday, but most likely it'll stay rain-free as this front does weaken, at least the northern half. However, the southern half will slowly move and stall out in this region here, and that will end up as kind of a corridor for moisture to flow out of the Gulf of Mexico right in the Mid-Atlantic region on Thursday. A little bit of snow. This is snow falling here in New Mexico on the cold side of this cold front this morning. Well, here's the latest infrared satellite imagery loop from the Wisconsin SSEC website. A little bit of cloudiness now moving into the western side of the Mid-Atlantic region. We should hold on to a decent amount of sunshine today, but you can see our hours are numbered in terms of clear skies here. Lots of clouds pushing in. It should become mostly cloudy tonight and more clouds than sun on Wednesday, although it may very well remain rain-free on Wednesday, as most of that rainfall associated with the weakening cold frontal system will fall apart tomorrow as it crosses over the Appalachian Mountains. But you can see here Pacific moisture flowing into this developing system, and the Gulf of Mexico will become a player as well, providing lots of moisture to flow to the north and east, and it's all setting us up for a soaking rain event here from D.C. to Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City on Thursday into Thursday night. periods of rain, some heavy at time, and it could even be a thunderstorm or two. Colder air rushes in behind that storm at the end of the work week. Well, let's take a look at a few computer forecast maps for the upcoming soaking rain event. This is using the NOAA GFS model, Global Forecast System. That's the main global model put out by the U.S. This is for tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. We'll look at 12-hour increments going through Friday morning, encompassing this soaking rain event. This is the area of precipitation by tomorrow morning as it weakens and tends to fall apart upon approach of the Appalachian Mountains associated with that weakening cold frontal system. Again, the southern half of the front remains more active. Lots of heavy precipitation here tomorrow morning in the south central part of the U.S. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. Well, here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening. Virtually rain-free here in the I-95 corridor. Again, the northern half of that frontal system tends to weaken. The rain associated with it this morning will fall apart by the time it crosses the mountains. It does look like it'll add lots of clouds into the skies by tonight and tomorrow, especially compared to what we see out there this morning. But just to the south and west, lots of moisture gathering itself here in the south central part of the country. Let's now jump ahead another 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for Thursday morning. A couple things going on here. First of all, low pressure over the Great Lakes. Cold air starting to rush in behind that into the western Great Lakes and the upper part of the Midwest. Meanwhile, rain has pushed into much of the I-95 corridor by this time. Again, this is Thursday morning, and there's just a corridor of moisture headed our way out of the Gulf of Mexico, and actually some of that moisture originated in the Pacific Ocean Thursday morning. Now let's jump ahead to the Thursday evening forecast map. Well, by Thursday evening, just a soaking rain event here in the I-95 corridor. Again, colder air headed our way, advancing our way across the Great Lakes region. Low pressure forming here in the Mid-Atlantic region late Thursday evening. A soaking rain event, perhaps more than an inch to an inch and a half of rain in parts of the I-95 corridor between D.C. and New York City, and heavy rain definitely moves into New England by late Thursday night into the early part of Friday. Let's now jump ahead to the Friday morning forecast map. Well, by Friday morning, indeed, strong low pressure moves up into New England. The cold front rushes off the East Coast by then, and we'll have strong north to northwest winds in the Mid-Atlantic region. Much colder on Friday compared to earlier this week. Again, the chill returns at the end of the work week, and it looks like there's another cold air mass just waiting in the wings. This is the Friday morning forecast map. This cold shot continues to move south and east and reaches the Mid-Atlantic region by the early part of next week. We don't even really have a time to warm up this weekend. It stays way below normal right through the upcoming weekend, and by the time it looks like we may warm up, a reinforcing shot of cold air should arrive in the Mid-Atlantic region by the early part of next week. So soaking rain event on Thursday, following a couple of pretty nice days, mild days on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then chilly air returns at the end of the work week, and that chilly air is reinforced by another cold air mass by the early part of next week. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.